9.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime News, live from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Madhushka Balasuriya.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Before we go into your stories in detail, let's take a look at the headlines.
Headlines on Newsfirst at 9.
Budget of the Homagama Pradesh Sabha defeated. Number of local councils where budgets were defeated twice rises to 11.
බැලුවම කුට්ටිය බෙදාගන්න බැරුව. කුට්ටිය බෙදාගන්න බැරුව. මේ අරයා කනවට මෙයා ඉරිසියයි. මෙයා අර අතට අහුවෙච්ච එක මෙයෙන් කනවා.
Will the grade 5 scholarship be annulled come 2016?
තාම ජාතික අධ්‍යාපන කමිෂන් එකත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරමින් යන්නේ මේ යෝජනාවලියයි.
ජාතික අධ්‍යාපන කොමිසම කොහෙවත් කියලා නැහැ 2016 ශිෂ්‍ය විභාගය අවශ්‍ය කරන්න කියලා.
Doctors say that Michael Schumacher is fighting for his life after a skiing accident.
News First at 9.
Now, in your top story tonight, a controversy has arisen around the Grade 5 scholarship examination.
This controversy was caused by a statement made by the subject minister to the effect that the Grade 5 scholarship examination would be annulled come 2016.
Minister Bandula Gunawardena had said prior to this that the Grade 5 scholarship examination would be annulled come 2016 based on a recommendation made by the National Education Commission. The recommendation was publicised today at a media briefing convened at the Ministry of Education. It has been recommended that a far simpler assessment system than the present system be utilised for the Grade 5 scholarships examination in 2014 and 2015. The National Education Commission has also proposed that the examinations be held as part of the end-of-term examinations instead of on a special date in August. The Commission has also recommended that the duration of the examination be limited to 1 hour and that a far simpler question paper be issued to students. The examination will comprise of a short essay based on an environmental topic, making correct, fair and justifiable decisions after studying a simple incident, submitting a paragraph in written language, in spoken language and vice versa. It is also proposed that students be assessed on understanding, categorizing, mathematical patterns, measurements used in everyday life and identifying various patterns. The National Education Commission notes in its recommendations that the success of these examinations and the establishment of the 1000 Mahindodaya schools come 2016 will enable a decision to be made on whether the Grade 5 scholarship should be held further. Some people have gone completely against this. Some are saying that this is the best decision that has been made in Sri Lankan education for some time. There are people with various views. It is for these views that the National Education Commission has issued proposals to be discussed. Discussions will be held and a final paper will be submitted to Cabinet. The fundamentals will not change. It would only be unjust to students if the syllabus and textbooks are changed. The burden on the students has been removed through this far simpler question paper. So the scholarship will not be annulled but replaced with a simple one. The scholarship will be annulled. The scholarship examination system will be annulled. Come 2016, it will be a different system. Journalists raise questions on the preparedness of officials to hold examinations under the new system come next year. It has been recommended that a 1-hour examination within the syllabus be held so as not to burden them too much. So the child who had to prepare for a 2-hour examination now has to prepare for a 1-hour examination, which will not be very difficult. The child who is trained to jump 10 feet will find it easy to jump 5 feet. Will the simplified question paper be prepared like the previous question papers? We are holding discussions with the National Education Commission. It is a proposal. We are discussing how this should be implemented with the National Education Commission, how it should be held in 2014 and 2015. We are speaking with the Commission, but if we are to do this, then we must submit a model question paper to the schools by the end of January. But the school textbooks and syllabus will not change if there is a simplification. This is still being discussed with the National Education Commission. They have only presented proposals. It must be joined with the Examinations Department. But the Examinations Department is clearly of the stance that the examination should be simplified. The National Education Commission has not said anywhere that the scholarship examination should be annulled in 2016. They are playing with children's lives. If the National Education Commission is still holding discussions with the Commission of Examinations to prepare model question papers, then there is a task that must be undertaken once the syllabus is prepared. Nothing of this sort has happened. Making such a statement when this has not happened is a joke. Can they complete the 1000 schools they are talking about by 2016? The 36 popular schools in this country are not among these 1000 schools. Meanwhile, two constituent parties of the government have voiced their opposition against the annulling of the Grade 5 scholarship examination. Issuing a communique, the leader of the Jatika Hela Urume, Venerable Omalpe Sobithera, says that annulling the examination will deprive ordinary people of the right to send their children to better schools. He adds that while developing 1,000 schools is a positive step, the scholarship examination should not be annulled until the schools are developed and have received public acceptance. Meanwhile, the leader of the National Freedom Front, Minister Wimal Weerawansa, had this to say on the matter. The President brought this discussion to the Cabinet before these decisions came out. Several ministers said take it off Grade 5 and apply it to Grade 7 or 8. Then the President said that he would convene Cabinet to discuss this system only. Before the President could convene Cabinet, the Minister told the country that the scholarship would be annulled by 2016. No matter what, we ask that the President convene Cabinet so that we can arrive at a collective decision regarding this. This is not the singular opinion of the Minister of Education. This is the view of the government. This letter was penned by Bandula Gunawardena on the 21st of October. The President has spoken about this on the 10th of October. And then on the 6th of November 2013, the National Education Commission has offered a response. The Minister said that this would be annulled after 2015. Unfortunately, the gentlemen at the National Education Commission have not understood the reality here. Within a government, various factions with differing opinions must clash. Only then will something good come out. If I am wrong, then I must become correct in the opinion of the majority. If I am not good, then the President must remove me. This is the system.
The 2014 budget of the Homagama Pradesha Sabha has been defeated for a second time by 2 votes today.
Yes, meanwhile, the 2014 budget of the Damana Pradesha Sabha was also defeated for a second time today.
Thereby, the total number of local government institutions whose budgets have been defeated twice has been risen to 11.
The Homagama Pradesha Sabha convened this morning under the auspices of Chairman A.D. Kumarasiri. 10 votes were cast in favour of the amended 2014 budget, while 12 votes were cast against it. 1 UPFA member refrained from casting his vote. The Homagama Pradesha Sabha, which is governed by the UPFA, has 19 UPFA members, 3 JVP members and 1 independent member. The members of the JVP took steps to defeat this budget for a second time as it robs people through taxes. We were against their decision to collect taxes fraudulently. The chairman has defrauded large amounts of money from this Pradesha Sabha. He went against the local government ordinance when carrying out activities. On numerous occasions we requested him not to engage in acts of fraud. However, we eventually had to defeat the budget presented by the chairman. There is no issue of corruption on the part of the chairman. There are individuals who are waiting to remove me and take this position. They are working as hard as they can to accomplish this. Meanwhile, a member of the Pradesha Sabha charged that the chairman requested him not to attend the budget vote and also attempted to bribe him. I received numerous calls yesterday. He even went to my house in Moroto, where my wife and 2 children reside, and attempted to give me 3 million rupees, asking me not to attend the vote. I have not harassed or troubled any Pradesha Sabha member, either by telephone or personally. Meanwhile, the budget of the Damana Pradesha Sabha was also defeated for the second time today. The deputy chairman of the Pradesha Sabha and 5 UPFA members voted against the budget, while no votes were cast in favour of it. The 2 UNP members of the Pradesha Sabha exited the chamber in protest against the vote, while 1 UPFA member abstained from voting. The chairman of the Damana Pradesha Sabha, who attended today's session, was rushed away due to a medical emergency. Several area residents staged a protest in the Hinguran area in support of the budget. The Paliagoda Urban Council convened for the first time today under its new chairman, Amila Nishanta Kumarasinghe. The 2014 budget presented by him was passed unanimously today. The budget that I presented was not based on my views. We gathered the views of the government and opposition members when formulating this budget. He has made minor changes to my budget. They defeated the budget constitutionally and now they are acting according to their wishes. I did not oppose it because of our village. The second round vote on the Uhana Pradesha Sabha's 2014 budget was not held today due to a problematic situation that arose this morning. Members of the Pradesha Sabha were invited to be present at 9 a.m. for the vote on the budget. However, the chairman failed to turn up on time. The members who arrived on time took steps to appoint an acting chairman and proceeded to make preparations for the vote. However, the chairman of the Ohuna Pradeshya Sabha, who arrived at the premises, took steps to postpone the session. The chairman should declare the budget. I did not present the budget before the council, so I took steps to postpone the session. He said that the chief minister has called on the vote to be stopped, and so he postponed the session. He cannot take such a decision based on the law. We see this as an act which violates the law. The budgets of Pradeshya Sabhas were being defeated. Were people from the opposition causing these defeats, or did our own members cause this? When we looked into it, we realized that this is happening because they cannot decide on how to share the spoils. People are jealous when others enjoy benefits. However, when they receive it, they act selfishly. If the budgets are defeated twice, then the chairman has to step down. We told members not to do it. The president asked them not to do it. Even our party's general secretary called a meeting and asked them not to do it. Still, they took steps to defeat the budget in his own electorate.
Now, meanwhile, a public rally was held in Kadewala yesterday under the auspices of JVP Politburo member KD Lalkantha.
Speaking at an event, he made the following remarks.
You have been speaking of and analysing this government all along. You have been speaking of the thievery, fraud and drug peddling within the government. Numerous incidents were exposed. What is the answer to this? Where do you look for an answer? Where is the opposition? Who is going to topple this? We pray that the cracks in the Pradeshya Sabhas will extend to the provincial councils. It will come to the parliament as well in the near future. I must say that if there are any persons in this country who engage in respectful politics, then they are the leaders of the Janata Vimukti Peramunu.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa has reiterated that he is not ready to hand over any powers that could lead to division in the country.
The Southern Province Administration building, or Dakshinapaya, was vested in the public today. President Mahinda Rajapaksa pointed out that even though there are various views being expressed about the provincial council system, both the government and provincial councils should take steps to serve the public. I remember there was once a time when people said that the state sector should be limited to 600,000 or 300,000 employees. There were cutbacks, pensions were reduced. Some people have forgotten it. Some of the newcomers are unaware of it. The people have placed their trust in you, the politicians and the state sector. If a state sector employee has the ability to wipe the tears of the people who turn to them for solutions, I believe that is the greatest achievement a state employee could accomplish.
An investigative committee has revealed that the negligence of the shunting engineer and his assistant led to a rogue engine travelling without an engineer from Maligavatta to Ratmalana.
Yes, General Manager of Railways BAP Aryaratna said future steps will be taken as per the processes in the department.
CCTV cameras at the Colombo Port Railway Station captured the manner in which this train travelled without an engineer on the 5th of December. The three-member committee appointed by the Department of Railways analysed this footage and obtained testimonies from numerous individuals. They submitted their final report to Transport Minister Kumara Welgama today, along with 11 recommendations to prevent the occurrence of such incidents. The engineer and his assistant must take full responsibility for allowing the engine to leave the yard. The committee has decided that this incident occurred because of their negligence. The system in the engine is like a normal system. There is the track, the torque converter and the gearbox. Usually in a vehicle we step on the clutch to change gears. But in this case there is an air piston. It is through this that you release and engage. So if this clutch is not disengaged when the engine is shut off, then it remains engaged. So the problem here is that when the engine was stabled, it was turned off without switching off the clutch.